Hey guys, welcome to the second half of 6EE2. Today we're focusing on 6EE2C, which says that you can substitute specific values for variables and that you can evaluate algebraic expressions following the order of operations, including real-world problems. So the first part of the standard is actually really simple. You're going to be given an algebraic equation like this, 6s plus 3. You're going to be given a value for your variable. In this case, we have s equals 5, and you're going to substitute that value in and then solve. So we're going to have, this means multiply, remember? So we're going to do 6 times 5. We're substituting 5 for s, and then we're adding 3. So I'm out of space, but 6 times 5 is 30, and plus 3 makes 33. Okay, so this part I'm not worried about. I know you guys are going to do a great job on it. We're basically just plugging in a number where there is a variable. So let's try one more. This one says 4 plus 3m, where m is equal to 10. So we're going to plug in the 10 where the m is. So I have 4 plus 3 times 10 equals. So 3 times 10 is 30. 30 plus 4 equals 34. So that's my answer. Okay, simple. Not worried about that. The second part of the standards in the real-world mathematical problems specifically includes being able to solve where situations, real-world situations, specifically when you've been given the formula for something, like the volume of a cube. So here you have said cube. This cube has a height of 3, a width of 3, a length of 3. So it's a cube, all the sides are equal. There's a formula to find the volume of a cube. It is s to the third power. And there's also a formula to find the surface area of a cube. It is 6 times s squared, basically because you do length times width to find area. So if you were to multiply 3 times 3 to find the area of this side, you would get 9. Then you would multiply it times 6 because there are 6 sides to a cube. So that's not the confusing part. Where you might be a little confused is because you're thinking, hey, Miss Southern, you haven't taught us about exponents yet. And you are correct. That is standard 6EE1, which for some reason in our progressions we do out of order. So I'm going to have to teach you about the exponents real quick so that you're able to do this. And that's not a problem. Exponents, so we're going to take a little side trip and then we'll address these issues. Exponents is basically the number of times a base is used as a factor of repeated multiplication. And you're going, okay, that didn't help me very much. I know it didn't. Let's look at an example. So in this case, if I was given the problem of 5 to the third power, okay? In this case, the 5 is the base and the 3 is the exponent. The exponent tells us essentially how many times I'm going to multiply the number, the base, times itself. The exponent is 3, so I'm going to multiply the 5 times itself 3 times. Okay, 5 times 5 times 5. Now, this is not the same, and do not be confused with 5 times 3, because 5 times 3 is 15. And 5 to the third power is 125. 5 times 5 is 25, and 25 times 5 equals 125. I made a little boo-boo on my chart. It's got some tape, but it'll work. Yes, okay, so in the same situation, if you had an exponent as your base, not an exponent, if you had a variable as your base, so if you had x to the fourth power, okay, that would simply mean that you multiply x times itself 1, 2, 3, 4. So side trip over. Now we're going to use what we just learned about exponents to solve for these variables in a real life situation, such as being given a volume formula and being asked to find the volume of this cube. So if I know the formula is s to the third power, s to the third power, and I've been given s, right? S is the side length. The side length is 3. Then I just need to plug in the 3 for the s. So that would be 3 to the third power. Okay, so I'm plugging in, and let me write that down. Side length, and I should spell it correctly, is side length is 3. Okay, so S is equal to 3. All right, so we just plug in at 3 for S, and then we solve. So that means 3 times 3 times 3. 3 times 3 is 9, and 9 times 3 is 27. So the volume of this cube is 27, and this is inches, so it would be inches cubed. And it's cubed because it's volume, so it's a three-dimensional shape, three-dimensional measurement. All right, so we have another formula here. We're given a formula, 6s squared. Now, we're going to plug in 3 for s, but I do want to remind you just a moment about using our order of operations. So up until this point, we have not included exponents, but we've included it in our song, but we haven't included it in application. So we have first we group and we look for exponents. So that means exponents is next after grouping. We don't have any grouping symbols here. So when I plug in the 3 for s, I'm going to end up with 6 times 3 squared. Okay, now I've got multiplication and I've got an exponent. I need to do the exponent first before I multiply. First we group, look for exponents, okay, then multiply and divide. So we have an exponent. We got to address it first. So then we're going to do 6 times 3 squared is 3 times 3. 3 times 3 is 9. And we're going to be left with 6 times 9. Now we can multiply 6 times 9 and get 54. And that's going to be inches squared. And it's squared because unlike volume, this is surface area. Surface area. Area is two-dimensional. So this answer would be 54 inches squared. I know that's probably a lot. Watch the video a couple of times. We're going to practice it. Try not to be overwhelmed. Okay? We got this. Bye.